Hi everyone, my name is Kylie. I'm going to be your instructor today. We're going to do a little bit of stretch and recovery today. We're going to start with a lunge stretch facing our foot bar. So you're going to switch your springs. I'm going to go onto one blue spring. One blue spring is going to be a little bit heavier. If you want it a little bit lighter, you can go onto one white. I'm going to stand on the right side of my reformer here. I'm bringing my right foot down in line with my platform. My left foot is going to be up against that shoulder block. My knee is down on the ground. My hands are going to be on that foot bar to start. I'm going to press out into my lunge stretch. That carriage presses out behind me. My right knee is going to be directly over my ankle here. My hips are squared off towards the front. I'm pressing my hips down towards those springs, feeling that deep stretch in my hip flexor here. I inhale, I bring my leg back in to reset. And then I exhale, I press back out, thinking about sinking my hips lower, down towards those springs here. Feeling that deep stretch, I hold it for a second or two longer. And then I slowly bring it back in. Going in and out at your own pace here. Just breathing into this stretch. You exhale into the tension, and then you inhale as you release. Beautiful. We go for 4. Feeling that deep stretch in your hip flexor here for 3. 2. On 1, we'll press it out into our furthest lunge stretch here. We hold, feeling that deep stretch in our hip flexor, trying to press those hips down towards those springs here. Feeling that deep stretch, you can lean forward if you'd like, bringing those forearms onto that foot bar. Just breathing into this stretch for 4, 3, 2, 1. You can bring that carriage in. We're going to go into our hamstring stretch here. We keep that left knee underneath our hip. We're going to keep that right leg nice and long this time. We flex those toes towards our face. We're going to take an exhale. We hinge forward at the hips, down towards our toes, feeling that deep stretch in the back of our right leg here. We inhale, we raise up to reset. Exhale, you lower down, flexing those toes toward your face, hinging at those hips to lower down toward your toes. Deep stretch in the back of that leg here. And then you can rise up. You can stay nice and low the whole time, just feeling that deep stretch, or rising up in between sets, resetting, releasing the tension in the back of your leg. Each time you lower down, you're thinking about dropping an inch closer towards your toes here. We can go out into our full split stretch here. You extend that carriage out behind you as our right leg stays nice and long, toes stay actively flexed toward your face here. Breathing into this stretch. You can lean forward. We hold for 3, 2. On 1, slowly bring that carriage all the way into that stopper here. Great job. Before we go into that other side, we're going to bring our knees on the front of our carriage. We're going to go into a child's pose and thread a needle here. So we're going to bring our hands onto the middle of that foot bar, about shoulder width distance apart. Knees are towards the front of our carriage, nice and wide. We keep our arms nice and long, palms are on that foot bar. Keep those fingertips reaching out in front of you, not gripping onto that foot bar. We're going to press out into our child's pose here. Our head hangs heavy in between our biceps, dropping down towards those springs. We're just going to take a couple inhales and exhales here. Inhaling through our nose, exhaling through our mouth. Just letting that head drop nice and heavy towards those springs here, arms stay nice and long. Adding on here, we're going to keep our palms pressing into that foot bar. Arms stay nice and long. Our gaze comes up towards the front. We're dragging that carriage in slowly towards that stopper. And then we're going to exhale. We press back out. Head goes back down in between our biceps towards those springs. Arms stay nice and long the entire time. As we bring that carriage into the stopper, we press our shoulder blades down and back, squeezing those shoulder blades together. We lower back down. Again, keeping those fingertips nice and long, trying not to grip that carriage here. Feeling that stretch. Nice and slow. We'll do one more rise up here, pressing those shoulder blades together, feeling that stretch. We'll lower back down. Let that head hang nice and heavy down towards those springs. Take an inhale. Exhale out. We're gonna go into our thread and needle here. We're gonna put all that weight into our left palm. We reach our right hand up towards that ceiling, opening our side body out to the right. We're gonna thread that right arm underneath our body, reaching those right fingertips towards the opposite side of the room here. We try to drop that right shoulder down onto the carriage here, letting our head hang heavy. Holding here for a second. And then we'll reach that right arm back up towards the ceiling, trying to open it out a little bit wider here. And then we thread that arm back underneath our body. Great job. Going at your own pace here, nice and slow, just breathing into this stretch. We have 2 more here. Great job, you guys. Last one, reaching those right fingertips up towards that ceiling. Threading that arm underneath our body, dropping that shoulder down, letting that head hang heavy. And then you can bring that right hand back onto that foot bar here. We'll switch sides. Fix my pants. Pressing all that weight into our right palm here, we reach our left fingertips up towards the ceiling, opening our body towards that side of the room. We thread that left arm underneath our body, dropping that left shoulder blade down towards that carriage, head hangs heavy. We open that side body back up, reaching those left fingertips, opening up a little bit more this time. And then we thread that arm back underneath our body, reaching those fingertips towards the opposite side of the room, trying to drop that shoulder down a little bit more here. Just a few more on this side, going at your own pace. Great job, you guys. We have 2 more. Last one here, opening up to that side of the room. Threading that arm underneath our body, dropping that shoulder down a little bit more, letting that head hang heavy. We'll bring that left hand back onto that foot bar, equal weight in both palms. Let that head hang heavy in between both side body, letting that head hang heavy in between your biceps here. Finding balance within your body again. Taking a deep exhale. One more deep inhale here. Deep exhale out, slowly rise back up to seated. Great job, you guys. We're gonna do our lunges on the other side here. So we're gonna bring our left foot down onto the ground. Our right foot is up against that shoulder block. Our right knee is down on that carriage. Our hand is on that foot bar to start. We're going into our lunge stretch on this side. We press that carriage out, dropping our hips down towards the springs below us. Hips stay squared off towards the front. We inhale, we drag that back knee in to reset. We press that carriage out. Left knee is directly over our ankle here. Dropping those hips down a little bit further this time. And then we slowly bring it back in. Each time we press out, we're exhaling, feeling that tension release in our hip flexor on this side here. And then we slowly drag it back in. You can hold it out a little bit longer in your lunge stretch, feeling that deep stretch, sinking those hips a little bit lower. We have 2 more, and then we'll hold out at our furthest point. Last one here, you'll meet me in your furthest lunge stretch, holding this stretch, dropping those hips down, sinking them down towards the springs. Hips are staying nice and forward here, breathing into this stretch. Take a deep inhale, deep exhale out. And then you can bring that carriage in. Great job. We'll go into our hamstring stretch here. So we're keeping that right knee underneath our hip here. We're going to straighten this left leg this time. We're bringing our toes off of the ground. Just our left heel is on the ground here. Keeping that left leg nice and straight. We hinge at the hips. We lower towards our toes here. Exhaling into this deep stretch in the back of our left leg. We inhale, we hinge at the hips. We rise up, we reset. Exhale, you lower down, flexing those toes up towards you. Inhale, you reset. You can stay nice and low the whole time. I like to reset in between. I feel like I can drop down an inch or two lower each time I lower back down, using that exhale to help me get there. Exhaling into tension, inhaling when you release. We'll do 2 more and then we'll go into our split stretch, sending those glutes and hips down and back here. Last one here, you lean forward, breathe into that stretch, and then we'll go into our split stretch. We keep that carriage nice and long, pressing that carriage away from us. Left leg stays nice and long here. Go into your furthest point. You keep those left toes flexed towards your face here. Both hands can be on that foot bar. You sink your hips down, staying squared off nice and forward here. Breathing into this stretch. Take a deep inhale. Deep exhale out. And then you can slowly bring that carriage all the way back in. Great job, you guys. You can sit on your carriages. We're gonna go into our monkey stretch here. A little bit more of a stretch for the back of our legs, and then we can add a little bit of an upper back stretch in here. So switching our springs for our monkey stretch. I'm on 1 red spring. You can go onto 1 blue or 1 white as well. So I'm on my 1 red spring here. I'm gonna bring my glutes up forward. It's gonna feel a little bit tight to start, but once we get into the movement, you'll feel a little bit more spaced out here. I'm gonna bring my hands onto the middle of the foot bar. I'm gonna bring my heels nice and wide on this foot bar, externally rotating my toes and my knees. My arms stay nice and long. On my exhale, I press my heels into that foot bar. I extend my legs to my furthest point. If you can't straighten those legs completely, that's okay. If this is your furthest point, you stop right here, just as long as you're keeping your hands on that foot bar the entire time. I'm gonna extend out to my furthest point, feel that deep stretch in the back of my legs. I'm gonna inhale, bend my knees, keep them nice and wide. I bring that carriage into reset. Exhale, I press all the way out. Inhale, bend those knees into reset. If you want to add more of a stretch here, when you press out at your furthest point, you can pull on that foot bar with your hands. Opposition stretch here. As I'm pressing my heels into that foot bar, I'm pulling with my hands, feeling a stretch in my upper back. If you don't like this, if it's too much for you, you just stick with those legs here. Just bending and extending those legs. But if you want to add that upper back stretch, you can. Extending out, pulling on that foot bar with those hands as you press those heels in, and then you release that pull as you bend your knees back in. Sitting nice and tall when you drag that carriage in here. We'll go for 2 more. We hold out on this last one, pressing all the way out, breathing into this stretch. And then I'm slowly gonna drag it all the way back in. Great job, you guys. We'll sit on our carriages. We're gonna go into our feet and straps here. So I'm gonna switch into my feet and strap springs, and then I'm gonna lie down on my carriage. My head is gonna be on that headrest. My shoulders are against those shoulder blocks. I'm gonna bring my feet onto my foot bar. I'm gonna grab those long loops, and I'm carefully gonna place them over the arches of my feet, 1 foot at a time here, fully getting my balance into both feet. I'm extending my legs straight up towards the ceiling. My arms are relaxed down by my side. I'm not hunching my shoulders up towards those shoulder blocks. My shoulders stay down and back. I'm gonna start with my lower and lifts here. I'm gonna exhale, flex my toes towards my face as I slowly lower my heels down towards foot bar height. Once I'm there, I'm gonna inhale, point my toes nice and long, raise those legs back up above my hips towards the ceiling. Exhale, I lower, feeling that deep stretch in the back of my legs here, only going down to foot bar height, no lower than that. Stopping at my lowest point, point my toes, raise my legs back up towards the ceiling. I'm not letting my lower back arch here, and I'm not letting my tailbone lift. Going to whatever your range of motion is, only going as low as you can without letting that lower back arch. We'll do one more lower here, exhaling, feeling that stretch in the back of your legs. We'll raise those legs back up towards the ceiling, going into our leg circles here. We inhale, we open our legs out wide to the sides. Exhale, press those heels together towards that foot bar. Bring those legs back together, point those toes nice and long. Raise those legs back up towards the ceiling. Making sure your hips don't rock side to side here, I like to place my hands on my hips, staying nice and stable on that carriage as I open out wide. Flex my toes towards my face as I press my heels together. Point those toes nice and long, raise my legs back up towards the ceiling. Making sure my legs are moving in the same range of motion here. So good, you guys. Feeling that stretch in your hip flexors. We have 2 more in this direction. If this is getting heavy on your hips, just shorten your range of motion with those circles here. We'll do 1 more in this direction here. Meet me with those legs back up above your hips, and then we'll switch directions. Flex your toes towards your face. Exhale, press those heels back down towards that foot bar. Open those legs out wide, point those toes nice and long. Circle those legs out and around, back up above your hips towards the ceiling. Again, your tailbone is not lifting up off of that carriage here. I'm keeping my hands on my hips to make sure my hips are staying nice and stable, not rocking side to side. Maybe feeling for some imbalances in your body here. Making mental notes of what side might be tighter, what side might be looser, what you might need to work on. We have 2 more in this direction. Continuing to breathe, exhaling to release that tension. Last circle here. We'll circle those legs around and back up towards that ceiling. Keeping those legs nice and long, we'll go into our hamstring stretch. We're gonna grab onto those ropes. We'll flex our toes towards our face. We exhale, we pull down on those ropes. Feel that deep stretch in the back of your legs here. Inhale, point those toes nice and long, release those ropes, reset. Exhale, flex those toes towards your face, you pull. Inhale, point those toes nice and long, release those ropes. Your tailbone can lift here if you want to pull those feet closer toward your face. You can bend one knee, extend the other, pulling down on that straight leg strap for a deeper stretch here. You can go back and forth. Isolating that one leg, feeling that deep stretch, exhaling into that stretch here. We'll do 1 more on each side. And then we'll meet both legs nice and long again, arms back down by our side. We'll open out into a V for our split stretch. Our legs are nice and wide here. We feel this deep stretch in our inner thighs. Taking deep inhales and exhales here. You can add a slight rock side to side here. You can pull on those ropes a little bit, getting a deeper stretch. Or if you just want to sit still, closing your eyes, taking a deep inhale, deep exhale, feeling that release in that tension in your inner thighs. We'll hold here for 3, 2. On 1, you can meet me in your happy baby stretch. You'll bring the bottoms of your knees towards your armpits here. Bottoms of your feet go up towards the ceiling. I like to press my elbows in towards my knees for a deeper stretch. You can grab onto your ropes, your straps, or the bottoms of your feet here, And you can add a little pull as you press your elbows into your knees. You pull down on those straps, feeling that deep stretch in your inner thighs and your hip flexors here. I like to add a little rock side to side, feeling that deep stretch here, breathing into it. We go for 4, 3, 2. Coming to neutral on 1, you'll bring the bottoms of your feet together, knees go out wide, ending in your butterfly stretch here. Option to drop your feet down towards your carriage, letting your knees go out wide. You can place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, or open your arms out to the side, making your chest nice and proud. We'll end class with a few deep inhales and exhales here. Taking a deep inhale through your nose, deep exhale through your mouth, deep inhale through your nose, deep exhale through your mouth. We'll hold on this next inhale, taking a deep inhale through your nose and holding at the top, relaxing your shoulders, your arms, your legs, your whole body here. Hold that inhale for 3, 2. On 1, taking a deep exhale out. Taking one more deep inhale in here, inhaling with gratitude for moving your body for you. And then we'll take one more deep exhale out, releasing any tension, stress, negativity that you don't want to bring with you for the rest of your day, the rest of your week. And then you can carefully take off those straps. You can hang them back up, letting that carriage slowly hit that stopper. And then you can sit on up. Great job, you guys. Great job today, you guys. Again, my name is Kylie. This was your stretch and recover class. It was so great flowing with you. I will see you guys next time.